Good evening. It's Sarah here from Sarah's Country Cottage and Garden. I'm here in our sitting room, and what time is it? It's about 20 to 9 in the evening, and it's Thursday, the 18th of September. It's the eve of my father's birthday. So I'm here in our little sitting room with a few little cozy pumpkins that you can see there on the table, and a couple of pink velvet ones on the chair there next to our little Kirkby. And then here on this table here, we've got some too. So I thought to include with the rest of my little autumn home tour, I would show you how I make my little pumpkins. This one here I've made. Last year I dried the pumpkin stem, and then I just traced round an old plate, cut out a circle and gathered it up to create this little pumpkin. And I thought I'd show you the process of how I do it. So I'm not sure if this is going to be okay, how it's going to work, but let's give it a go and see what we can do. So I love this pumpkin. I bought this one last year from Beetham Garden Centre in Cumbria. I absolutely love it. But this is one that I've made, and this is a brilliant stem that I was able to dry. I bought the pumpkins from a supermarket, and I got quite a few in the sale after the 31st of October last year, when Halloween had well and truly gone. And then again, I've used different sizes of plates or even trays, round circular trays, anything circular that I can put down on my fabric, draw around and cut out to create a circle. So that's one that I did, and I'm just balancing that there for now. So in the last video that I did, where I showed you our autumn tour, starting in the hallway and going upstairs, I started in our little dining room, and I had this fabric, and I was currently making a little pelmet curtain for our kitchen, as this goes really nicely. It's looking quite bright here, but it's a lot more muted in reality. And it's a little pelmet curtain that I've made for our kitchen, and that's now up. And I had quite a lot left over, so I've been doing little tablecloths for the kitchen. And then here you can see I've already made one, and I don't have any more dried pumpkin stems. And lots of people use twigs and different things, so I had some kindling, and I got my husband to split some wood, and we cut the ends off. Here you can see them short, and then I kind of whittled them away a bit, and I chose this one because it was battered and a bit, well, I don't know, you do see some pumpkins like that, don't you, where they get frayed at the end. So I'm going to kind of glue these on there. Maybe not that piece for that one, maybe one like that. So I'm going to glue that in the middle. And then I've got this massive piece here, which is obviously too big for this little one, but I'm going to make another. So let me put this one back there. So I used a round tray, the biggest tray I had, and even that wasn't that big. So then I kind of, by eye, so I had the tray on top of the fabric, and say this was the tray, I did actually go around it a couple of inches beyond and just guesstimated a rough circle. So this is it. So this is what I've done. So this is my circle, and this is how I create the pumpkin. So I gather a nice long line of thread, and I've already started this. So I started over here, and it's very rough running stitches. So I started here, and I've just gone back on myself for 3 stitches, so that at the beginning, and I've also got a knot in the end. So basically, when I'm threading my needle, if we go to the other end now, where it is starting to gather, I get off a long piece of thread, thread it through the needle, get the 2 ends together, and tie a little knots, 2 or 3 little knots, so that I have a knot on the end. Again, so that knot holds it in place where I began, somewhere. Will you see it if I zoom in? Let's see. Is it going to focus? So maybe not. But anyway, basically it's knotted at the end to hold it in place, plus a couple of stitches going over each other. And then the rest is just a loose running stitch, which if I put this now, I've got a little table next to me. So if I put that there, I'm hoping you can see. Let's see. When I gather it up, now where's best? I'll turn it around a little bit. So what I'm doing, because look, you can see I'm at the end. I've done that many, but I can pull all this. I can gather this up. I want it to gather the other way. So I'm pulling it so it gathers up, and then I've got more of the thread loose, if you can see, to then do just a simple running stitch. I hope this is focusing. Like so. Just like that. Quick, easy. Pull it through, gather it up, and then carry on again with more running stitches. Can you see? Pull it through, gather it up. So all the time we're gathering it up and going round until we meet ourselves at the other end. So let me just continue to do that. Okay, so hopefully now you can see that I've gone all the way round. Oh, just bear with me. The clock is striking 9 o'clock. It's not took me 20 minutes to sew this. I have actually been doing other things as well. But anyway, let me just wait for the final chime. This is my my Nana's clock that you could hear chiming, and it was left to me, and I absolutely love it. So anyway, back to the sewing. So as you can see, I've now gone all the way around, gathered most of it up, and it resembles the shower cap. So then what we need to do is stuff it. And so I leave the thread on. So the thread's still on with the needle, because we need to tie it once that we've stuffed it. So for stuffing, I've literally just went to B&M Bargains, cheap shop in our country, in England, and picked up a cushion filler. I've just cut the top open because I couldn't get to any hobby place or anything like that. So cheap, quick availability. It just cost me a couple of pounds, and I'm just going to use this to stuff it. So where's my thread? The thread's there. We'll keep that out of the way, and I'm just going to stuff this with the filler. Oh crikey, that's quite a lot there. Can you see what I'm doing? It's very tricky, isn't it? Any other vloggers out there who do this, to try, who actually do crafts, to actually see it, watch the video as you're kind of trying to do it yourself while filming and thinking, is this any good? Can you see what I'm doing? But I do love watching other people do this, and they do it far different than me and far better. Some of the YouTubers or the vloggers that I love watching is Roseanne. She's called Roseanne Makes. I started following her originally on Instagram, but I know she doesn't do that anymore. But she does I think she'll do one a month, something like that, one every few weeks. She'll do a video, and they're usually a really nice long one. She's got the most soothing, lovely voice to listen to, and she's so talented. Right now, lately she's been making the most lovely collages with scraps of fabric and painting them. And in the past, I love watching her videos where she uses, it's kind of, I can't think what she calls it. It's like a papier mâché, or oh no, spun cotton, I think they call it, the craft, where she creates the most adorable little creatures, whether it be a little bunny rabbit, and she'll dress them, and then she'll create a little cart for them to go on, and oh, she just does the most amazing little things, and I love watching her. You know, I mean, the reason I started this was because I love watching YouTube. And one of the best things I actually did was subscribe to YouTube so that I don't have to watch the adverts. So that's really good. So anyway, as you can see, this is filling up nicely. I need to be able to put it together. Do you want more in there? Yeah, it's a bit too baggy here. So let's get a little bit more in. So, yeah, so who else do I love to watch? Well, I mean, my husband and I both love watching YouTube together. And there's a lovely German couple that we both love watching. We watch them every week. They release a video every week, and they're called Kirsten and Jörg. And they're a German couple living here in the UK, in the county of Cheshire. And they have a beautiful Victorian home that they've been decorating, and so it's been nice watching that. But one of the main things they do on their channel is they'll go away for the weekend, and we get to see the beautiful places that they stay in, whether it be they'll rent a little cottage, or staying at a hotel somewhere, and they travel all over England, Scotland and Wales, and they'll film the surrounding area. So like they might do the interior where they're staying one day, and then the next week it will be the area that they've been exploring and walking. And oh, they really are so charming, so sweet. We absolutely love watching them. I watch lot on YouTube, really. There's a lot of American ones. Hello, American friends, that I love to watch. Pine and Prospect, I love her. This lovely girl and her family and her boys, and how she creates a lovely home. There's a lot. Another English one that I love to follow she's called Josie. She's a lot younger than me. She's only in her 30s, and it's her and her husband live in the Cotswolds. And well, I adore the Cotswolds. I've been going to the Cotswolds my whole life, and my son lives not far from there now in Leamington Spa. So we always go to the Cotswolds when we're visiting my son. And my aunt and uncle also live in the Cotswolds. So it's always been a very special place in my heart. And so I love seeing it on Josie's vlogs. And yeah, I think one of her best vlogs that I loved, and my mum watched it with me, and I've watched it a couple of times, is their wedding video. They had the most idyllic wedding. Anyway, let's get back to this pumpkin. So as you can see now, I'm kind of holding it together. So where I've gathered it up, because I'm pulling it and it's probably not the strongest of thread. So I'm trying to hold it together. I think it's definitely now full enough. And I think once I stitch it all in place, it will then I will squeeze it and puff it and kind of play it together. So then what I need to do is, and I hope I can capture this on here, so finding where my thread comes through, I kind of need to go over it in and out, which when it's gathered like this, it does become a little bit more tough to get through. This is usually when I catch my thumb or my finger and go, ow! Not this time though. I'm trying to be careful, but yeah, I just don't want it all to come undone. So there we go. So that's securing that, but what I need to do now is pull it all together, basically going from one side, so it's there, pulling it from that side and gathering it to the opposite side, and then I'm just kind of doing that same thing all the way round so that I pull it eventually all together as tight as I can. There's nothing neat about it, and this will all be covered, all this in the end, once it's pulled together, will be covered with the stick or the pumpkin stem if you've got a pumpkin stem. And I know you can buy pumpkin stems already dried, and you can buy faux ones, can't you, on Amazon and Etsy and eBay. I've looked myself, and the dried ones, well, they're not cheap, are they? That's why I prefer, if I can, to get my own real pumpkins. I mean, I hope one day to grow my own pumpkins. We have got some we've got some beautiful squashes actually grown in the garden that my stepmother started for us, and we've got a beautiful one, and I keep thinking, oh, will that have a nice stem? I'm not sure yet whether it will, but I do hope to kind of grow my own pumpkins, because they're very easy to dry the stems. I just put ours on top of the radiator, and you know, because it's obviously as we get into the winter time, because when I got mine last year, it was the beginning of November, and they were selling them off, and I think I got them for like 10 and 20 pence, which, you know, is probably just a few cents, and so they were very cheap, and I just cut the stems off and dried them on the radiator, and this is how they turned out. And I love that, because the velvet pumpkins, I know you can get ones with faux stems that I've seen in this country, and you probably get anywhere, and again you get them on the internet, and they're not so bad. I think they'll vary from about, you know, £10 to £20, something like that. But the special velvet ones that I bought on holiday in America, I think they can be an awful lot more. So to be able, and also, you know, I don't, not able to get to America again at the moment, so to be able to make my own, and I love making things, so it's saving me a lot of money, but there's just a lovely feeling when you make something, you know. It can be very relaxing, but it's the sense of achievement, isn't it, at the end of it, you know, when you've sit back and look and make something, and it won't always be perfect. Nothing of mine is ever perfect, but it's, oh, this is getting a bit tricky to hold while trying to do it in front of the camera. So let me finish tying this together, and then I'll come back to you. Okay, so I've took the camera off the stand, so I'm holding it now, so hopefully I can have a little bit more control. So as you can see, this is it. So this is our pumpkin. It's nice and squishy. If I zoom in here, you can see the very unneat stitches. But it's made quite a nice size. You can see by my hand that it's quite big. And this is the piece of wood. So all I'm going to do is get my glue gun. I'll have this flat. I'll do this in the kitchen because I'll do it on a better surface. And as I glue the end here, I shall put the hot glue on the wood end, and then very quickly push and hold it down with it in a squidgy position, hoping that, you know, it sticks, but also so it still keeps some of the squidgy shape. And then I'll see how it looks. Hopefully it'll look all right. If not, then I might have to get a long piece of thread and then start doing like in these pumpkins. So you can see that they've been gathered with some string, I think in this case, and wrapped around to give the segments that you see on a pumpkin. These velvet ones are not, they're just gathered like I've done with this one here. So depending how it looks when I've glued on the stem is whether I'll leave it as it is or segment it with either some twine or thick linen thread. it's a case of what I've got handy to use. So there we go. And so I'll try and show you. Now it's late now, so I'm going to sign off and I'll report back tomorrow. Okay, so it's 2 days later, or 2 nights later. It's now Saturday the 20th of September. It's a really stormy night. I look at the clock, it's 10 to 8. And we've had a nice day, rained upon, but we've had a nice day in Kendal. And I've finished my pumpkins. And so I thought I'd show you. So I'm here in our kitchen. And I didn't want the big overhead light on because it's so bright and I just don't, it's not cozy. And I want to be cozy. So we've got the lamps on. And can you make out I've got some fairy lights strung up? I did that last night. I just thought it's now dark, it's wet, it's miserable outside. I mean, we have had so much heavy rain. Our garden is just underwater. Where it's flat is underwater. And when it's been dry, we've tried to carry on planting and doing what we're doing. And we're bringing the mud up through the gravel. So we've had to abandon that. I'm hoping we're going to have a few dry days, but tonight we are on an amber alert for, or is it a yellow alert? But I mean, it's just non-stop rained practically for a whole week. And going to Kendal today, we've gone through so many flood zones on the lanes. I mean, the lanes have turned into rivers. It's just ridiculous. But anyway, thankfully, we got home safely. We've both had a lovely day out. Robert got his favourite coffees, 10 out of 10, his score, because we ended the day at Beaver Nursery, and he gets a 10 there. And he, in Kendal, while I shop around the charity shops, thrift stores, he goes to Waterstones, where I always meet up with him, which is our bookshop here in the UK. And before that, he goes to Nero's, and he loves Nero's coffee. And that's a 10 out of 10 as well. So today he's had 2 coffees, which he gives 10 out of 10. So he's a very happy chappy. So he's currently in the sitting room in front of the fire reading his book. So I thought I'd show you in our little kitchen the finished pumpkins. So I hope you like him. So let me turn the camera round. So that's our little boot room. See, I've got some little fairy lights in the boot room. But anyway, let me just... Oh, and then you can see... Oh, can you see the window behind? How do I... There we go. Can you see? So the fabric I was using to make the pumpkins with is this fabric here. I should turn it around so I can... look, I can point it actually at what I'm seeing rather than in reverse. But that's the little pelmet that I made. And then I've hung up all the baskets all the way along. I go over here. Hopefully it's not too dark. And with the scraps of fabric, see, I'm holding it the wrong way. I even made a little bow there. So we've got the pelmet, all the baskets, the little bow, some dried hydrangeas from last year, and in a minute I'll show you this year's hydrangeas. Oh, it's going dark. I like this little corner, so I love the wallpaper. And then, oh dear me, let me turn it round. I'm being silly here. Bear with me a second. How do I turn this round? I don't think it's going to let. Video resumed. Okay. So I've turned the video around. Obviously, to turn it round, I've had to stop it and start it again. It's a different app that I'm having to use to do that on in order for the microphone to work. But I just thought I'd show you this little corner with my boards, my rolling pins and autumn leaves and my Yankee candles that are from the 1990s. Does anybody have Yankee candles from the 1990s? I just love the wooden tops, and the fragrance was beautiful. One was like buttermilk pancake, and the other ones What's that one down there? Sugar snaps, something like that. Ginger snaps, I think it was called. And then I've got my lovely wooden bucket and soap, and then more of the fabric. And it looks awful in this light. Why do cameras have to change the colours of everything? Because they're not this colour in reality. It's so much more subdued. But anyway, more scrap of the fabric I've used and tied a bow around this pumpkin here. And then I love, so I don't know whether you can make it out, but here I love doing circles with ivy. I just get some wire, make a loop, stick it in the pot, and then train the ivy around it. So I've got one there, and then one in this big pot here. And then I love how little wisps grow off it, and it just gives it a lovely shape. So anyway, this is my little pelmet curtain with all the vintage baskets hanging from it. Don't know I'm going too fast. This is on top of our fridge freezer, and this picture's up all year, but this is a little cross stitch, and I think it's beautiful. Can you make it out? With pumpkins, such beautiful colours. And up here I've got my balls of string and eggs, and in the boot room there, probably too dark to make out, but just some little fairy lights on a tree in the corner. So anyway, let's come back in here. And here we are with my finished pumpkins. So this is the fabric. Can you see my finger? So I made this tablecloth, and I've just put it on at a jaunty angle, as they say. And then these are the two pumpkins. This is the one that you saw me stitching the other day. And so basically, since I finished stitching it, I've took the hot glue gun and I've just glued these on with hot glue, putting the glue to the wood and then pressing it down, really down deep into the pumpkin. And then obviously after a while, when I think it's gone off, I let go and it springs back up. And then I squidge it round to get a better shape and everything. And there we are. So those are my homemade pumpkins. So they go nicely with this cloth here. I had another little fabric, a square left. So I just put that over the radiator over there. And my little hair, let me go over and show you. My little hair wooden board. I got that in a charity shop in Settle. Such a bargain. I think it was about £4, and it's really thick, solid wood. So he's sat on there, my big hair. And I do love this wallpaper. Can you make it out? It's the same colour, really close colour to the fabric. And then I've got my casserole dish that I got last year, and my candle pumpkin. They're both from Home Bargains. The candle I got about 3 years ago, I think, and it still works. And then I love having all the copper. I've been polishing my copper this week. As soon as it's been raining, my little copper watering can up there. So now that it's autumn, I got out these autumn coffee set that was from Marks and Spencer's in the 1980s. And I remember my mum having bits of these pieces. And so when I saw them in charity shops, and there's a lovely little teapot, and then my newly polished watering can. And at this side are the coffee pots. I just think they're brilliant for autumn. And then there, I've dug out, because I've had these in cupboards, and I thought, no, let's have them out. So I've got 2 more of the Yankee candles from the 1990s, again with wooden lids. And they're just beautiful fragrances. I think one's like banana cream pie, and just really smell gorgeous. And I love these shelves. These haven't really changed for autumn. I keep these things on all year, but some things lend themselves to autumn time. Like there, we've got the little Flopsy bunnies picking blackberries. And then down here I've got my Brambly Hedge figures, which I love collecting. So it's not, oh, I'm just banging into our bin. It's not the full autumn tour today, and it's not the autumn tour for downstairs. Because truthfully, I'm still tweaking things. And yeah, even upstairs, I'm tweaking things and finding things and getting things out and changing things. And right now, I've just been setting this up. I mean, because the table over there, I mean, that cushion and that pumpkin isn't normally on that chair because that's Robert's chair and it's always clear for him. He has a pile of books there on the table with his coasters for his coffee cup, and he won't use that coffee cup. So basically, I've staged this now, which I love doing. I love room setting and staging. I just hope you can make it all out. But what I did do, when did I do this flower arrangement? Yesterday. Was it yesterday or was it Thursday night after work? Could have been Thursday night after work. So can you make it out? I've got this lovely old pot. It's really, well, it looks old, but actually it's not. But I love the texture of it. Now, I don't think that would be waterproof. So basically, I've taken a milk carton, cut the top off, and fit it inside. And therefore, I've been able to fill that with water, and I know it's not going to leak. So then I've gone in the garden and cut lots of leaves and hypericum berries and some of the achillea. And then I've got beech leaves, and then the bronzy coloured leaves. I've got a bit of the beech, red beech there, and Acer, and oh, I can't remember the name of the other one. I've got Alchemilla Moist too, and then the star of the arrangement, as far as I'm concerned, are these big paniculatas. I just think they are beautiful. I love how they start off green, and then they just go to this pink, and then slowly to this deep pink, and it's not really doing any justice here. And unfortunately, I can't even show you properly in the daytime because we're at the north of the cottage, so we don't get a great deal of, well, we get no sunshine in here, to be honest. We get a little bit in the summer at the end of the day when it comes round, because we are literally facing the northwest. And we've got big trees behind us, massive trees. So yeah, so that's my beautiful arrangement for autumn. Last year I did one inside a pumpkin, which I think I actually might have put on a short video. So let me show you what I've got recently. So my mum gave me these candles that she got from Primark, and I just think they're beautiful. Beautiful pumpkins on there, lovely colours. Is it picking it out? And then today in Kendal, I've got from Primark this lovely pumpkin soap wash, hand wash. And there's the label for it, pumpkin patch. And I just think, oh, love it. And then, so Robert, unfortunately, didn't see anything in Waterstones, but I saw this book. I haven't seen this book before. I think this book is new. And if you've seen my other videos, I mean, look, I've got 3 little figures over there on the table. Not sure if it can make it out now. But I just adore Brambly Hedge. And the big question is what do you love most? Is it Beatrice Potter? Or is it Brambly Hedge? Oh, gosh, tough call, eh? But the illustrations. Sorry, I hope I haven't just caught my mic. I'm tucking my hair behind my ear. But so this book, it's not the storybooks, but it's telling you all about Brambly Hedge, the beginnings of it, where it all came from, and the drawings there, like the little mice, and how it started. But her illustrations are just exquisite. They're just enchanting. And this year, our calendar is the Brambly Hedge calendar, and we love it. We love every month as a month turns over. We turn the page and see the new month, and oh, it's just a joy. So here we've got the family tree of Brambly Hedge. She's just lovely. And then you've got, well, who lives there? So it tells you about all the families, Mr. and Mrs. Apple, and the Toadflax family with Wilfred. And then you've got all the homes that they go through. But more than that, and we're going to love reading this, and Robert will enjoy this as well. But it just takes you, there she is herself, Jill. It takes you through her little studio and the beginnings of the drawings and how, and the inspiration, I mean, the trees that inspired her. So we got this from Waterstones, and I just think, what a brilliant book. And I'm going to love looking at the illustrations and reading it and finding out all about it. I mean, just look at that. It's just wonderful. I mean, I've had the books for so many years. I've even got the DVDs, you know. You could probably find the videos on YouTube. I think we've watched them on YouTube. But they're just so delightful. But the books, I have the china, as you know, upstairs. They've got the figurines. And then I have the books, the seasons of the books, the spring, summer, autumn and winter. But what I'm loving now, and I got this a bit ago, is these bigger versions. And now that we're in autumn, so rather than the small hardback book that they've always done, we now have this, and it's just a paperback, but it's blown up. I mean, because, well, I'm mid-50s almost now, and, you know, eyesight's not great. So to have a children's paperback book that's so big, I mean, just look how vibrant that is. Oh, it's just beautiful. So, yeah, for autumn to curl. Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's just beautiful, isn't it? So anyway, I've had that book a while. But the other thing I did get, poor Robert, he got nothing from Waterstones, but he did enjoy his coffee. But I did get a jigsaw. 1,000-piece jigsaw. So not for small children, it's for the big children. And you know when we like to do this? So that week between Christmas and New Year, and usually here the weather is rubbish, wet. So it's a time when we're in, and it's when we do quite like to do a jigsaw puzzle. So this is this year's jigsaw puzzle, and I can't wait to do it. I'm really looking forward to it. And I'm just looking forward to looking at this book and this book. I'm washing my hands with this soap. I took the lid off and it does smell lovely. I've got a few of those strawberries, our tomatoes there that we've grown. Anyway, this video is probably already too long, so I shall say farewell for today. Good night. And I hope you all have a lovely new week. I hope you've liked the video and it's inspired you to make your own pumpkins. It really is so easy. And I've got a few little scraps left here that I thought I might even make like little acorns with. Because I've just today in Kendal been in this shop and they sold little squares of felt. They had a lovely muted brown and a lovely muted green. So I thought I might give a go and use the last of the scraps and make some acorns that I could use as pincushions. So if I can figure out how I'm going to do it, I might try and video it for you and maybe it'll inspire you. I love this. Look at this. A pumpkin cloche over a pumpkin candle. Sainsbury's. Love it. Anyway, Without further ado, if you have enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you don't already subscribe, I would love it if you could. And I really, really love your messages. They're always so kind and so appreciative. I really do love them. And I do answer them all. So thank you so much. And I will see you next week.